much money do you need to spend to blow up the entire world with nuclear bombs? Well, I'd say it's pretty hard, especially if you need to get back those nuclear bombs so you can, like, blow up Venus or something like that. But you know what's also very expensive? Sustaining the IQ of children to be below 100. And seriously, it's very expensive for something that is not good for mental, physical, or literally any single type of health that you can think of. Stop wasting the money to make sure that kids stay dumb. Now you might be like, okay, Andrew, so what money are they even spending? Well, the type of money I am talking about is kind of like the thing right behind me, playground. They're like about few million playgrounds in the entire world. That's probably gonna sustain nearly like all of the world if they colonize like Jupiter or something like that, and like 32 of them die in the big red spot. That's just how much people all those playgrounds can sustain. But they're only targeted for children because, you know, playgrounds are pretty successful at basically turning kids into below kid IQ kids. And this is not gonna be good. And especially the amount of money you need to maintain all of that. You don't just spend the money on all the plastic, put it together and be like, okay, it's good, it's done, because all of the plastic is not all the stuff you're gonna find in it. You're also gonna have cracks, bubble gum, bullet holes, damage from graffiti, alcohol poisoning, or like anything else of that. That's going to cost money, and it's going to be a thing forever and ever and ever. Literally, you know, Diary of the Wimpy Kid, they had a single chapter, a few pages, talking about how the school didn't like the costs of sustaining the playground. So every single time that somebody got injured on it, they would just remove that part of the playground and stuff. So, as you know that, you might think that, okay, the playground, it says, hey, hold on there, partner! So, in order to make kids dumb, you also kind of have to sustain all the giant amounts of toys that are produced. Like, Santa doesn't need to care about that because he's Santa, but like, we're mortal, so no, it's gonna be a lot of hard labor, and of course a lot of hard labor to get all the money to make all of that stuff and equipment and materials and like every single thing just to make a single toy. And why do they make toys? So that adults don't need to take care of their children, and they only make toys so that kids can have like tea parties and stuff with their little dolly things, successfully sustaining their stupidity. Now, I'm not saying that kids are stupid. I like said 50 times, one time like kind of like right there in the middle of the playground, that adults are only doing this because they want to keep kids dumb so that they don't, like take over the world. I'm not into kids taking over the world, but you don't need to spend so much money just to make kids stupid. Okay, guys, this is not how common sense works, okay? Now, you might be like, okay, toys, playgrounds, that costs a lot of money, but we still spend more money to, blacken the sky with CO2, methane, and CalFart, whatever CalFart is made. Oh, it's made of methane? Okay, well, I guess CO2 and methane, and literally every single other greenhouse gas. Yeah, this may be true, but listen up. There's more than just playgrounds and toys. Fun fact, I don't have any. I only have a wooden cutout of a Springfield musket and also a real life musket ball. That's all I have, okay? Now, there's something else about all of this money. It isn't only in physical things that keep children sustained. Something you probably would never expect. The school system. If you're a follower of this YouTube channel, ever since I kind of started it with the name King something thing, then you probably know that I am an enemy of the school system, because I talked a lot about how the school system is dumb, but all those videos are gone because they're too terrible, and that's why my YouTube channel back then was terrible, but it changed so far. But you see something? The school system, it needs a lot of money to supply all the kids' books, which I explained in my video, and how I hate them. The video games for the class to make the kids and students especially even more dumb. And of course, then there's something else, the actual teaching parts. Because the teaching parts also needs a lot of money. And the teaching parts isn't exactly the most important part, because, the internet is a thing, and Wikipedia is a thing, and Khan Academy is a thing, so you don't really need the whole teaching them, but they're only teaching them so that they could create more workers, because for some reason they need more workers, and they don't need more tycoons. Now, with all of that in mind, you might be saying, okay, this is good. This is enough. Okay, I get it. A lot of money goes into the education system, playgrounds. Fun fact, most schools have a playground. If you don't know that, you probably know that. And of course, all the toys. And all of that is a heck lot of money. And you might be like, okay, but that's still not as much money to create that many CO2 emissions and all the death from stuff like viruses and anything else that can kill people. But although it isn't that much, it is much more than that. Of course, you already know that that's the main dramatic thing in YouTube videos these days. Now, every single thing that costs money is literally there to, one, support life, and two, make kids less life-sustaining, I guess. For example, if you find a chocolate bar as a little cartoon thing on it, it's probably going to be a few cents to print that on the label, but how many of those chocolate bars? If you take all those chocolate bars and put it together, that's a heck lot of money. Probably about $400 million to just print an eye on one of those cartoon teddy bears. Those cartoon teddy bears, if you do not know, is also one of those ploys to, make young human beings, more brain malfunction prone. But okay, just listen. Every single thing that is around you is a lot of money, and that amount of money could be cut nearly in half if we just take away the part that basically squishes the child brain into a little puddle of stuff. So yes, please stop spending money to make sure the kids are more dumb than they should be. Like a long time ago, they didn't need to spend that much money to make toys. All you gotta do to make toys was get a rock, a few pieces of straw, tie it together. It's not any money. But today, with our industrial age technology, we can produce more stuff, and that'll cost more money, and half of all those stuff is used to make kids more dumb. And I think you already know that is not the best.